Okay, so good afternoon to my lecturer. So this is the lab test for the PLT 107, which is the electronic. So this is the circuit that we have to construct. So first we open our multi-sim. Okay, so we open our multi-sims. Then it will show this. So firstly we do the for our VCC. So we right click and go to the place the component. So we go to the source and we type here for VCC. So as you can see, we have this VCC here. So we just put it here. Okay. So next we are going to put the RC, which is the 1.0 k ohm, kilo ohms. So we go back to basic, go for resistor, and we find 1.0 k. So very good. Okay. Now we see here. This is the resistor for 1.0 kilo ohms, but it is this. So we going to rotate it for clockwise, and we put it just underneath here. All right. After that, we are going to put this transistor, NPN bias transistor. So same thing. We go back to the component. So now we choose for the transistor. After we choose the transistor, we type in for 2N3904. So here two, we choose for the first one. Okay, we click OK. So we place it right above, below here. So okay, now we are going to put the 5.6K ohms of the resistor. So we go back to the basic resistor and we find 5.6K. When we scroll down, we will find one with 5.6K. So we click enter. Okay, so we put it right here. So for the same thing, we rotate it. Okay, so for the last one, for the R2, okay, for the R2, we are going to use the resistor also. So the same thing, but we just put it for 1.25K as our first one is for 1.25K, 256K. So we put it as 1.25. So we put it here. So we same thing, we rotate it. Okay. Okay. So after that, after we have putting our 1.25K. Okay, I'm going to drag down. Right back. Okay. So now we are going to put the last one, which is the 470 resistor. 470 resistor. Okay. So we are going to putting it here. Same thing. Rotate. Close. Okay. So for the last thing, we have to put the ground. So same thing. We component. We go to the source and we type for ground. Then we click OK. We put it one here and click another time OK, and we put it at one at here. All right. So for the next thing, we have to join all the wires. So after we join all the wire here, okay, wait me a while. Okay. Okay, now we just not looking at the notes here. So this is our circuit. So first thing first, before we run, we have to change the value from 1.25 to 1.256K. Okay, so next I'm going to put the probe, one for VB, one for VC, and one for VE. Alright, so another thing is I'm going to put the A for IC, for the ampere IC, and another one is for the IE. Correct? So, okay, so IC and IE. So for this, okay, we have another thing to do, which is the VCE. Okay, so VCE, I'm going to use the multimeter, which connect to here and here. So okay, on. Alright, so after we have done, we are going to run. Alright, but first thing first, we are not going to run yet because we not yet change the volt to 9.1. After we change that, so when we run, okay, so the first value is, the first thing is, okay, let me put it here. Alright, so the value is, for VB is VB is 1.65, this is the VB. So for VC is 7.05. So for VE is 0.97 volt, and for the VCE 6.078, and for the ampere, first thing is for IC is 2.05, for IE is 2.06 milliampere. So we are going to proceed to another with 1.481. So we stop first, we change it to 1.481. Okay, so we run again. So now, since the value is going to change, so here I'm getting 1.8 volt, and for VC I'm getting 6.57, and for VE I'm getting 1.20 volt. Right, for VCE is 5.337, with this 5.337 volt. Okay, for next is IC. IC is 2.53 milliampere, and another one IE, we are going to look at here. IE is 2.54 milliampere. Alright, so that's done for the 1.481. So next we are going to 1.753. When we run, okay, so for the VB 2.14 volt. Alright, for VC is 6.04 volt. For VE is 1.45. All right, for VCE is 4.587. For IC is 3.06 milliampere. And for the last one is 3.08 milliampere. All right, so we continue for the next, which is 2.084. 2.084K. Okay, we run. So what we get is VB is 2.43 volt, and for the VC is 5.44 volt. For the VE is 1.73 volt. For VCE 3.702 volt. For IC 3.66 milliampere, and another one is 3.69 milliampere for IE. Alright, so we continue for the last one for the part A, which is 2.490 K. Okay, when we run it, so for the VB, still the same, VB 2.75 volt. For VC 4.77 volt. For VE is 2.05 volt. So for VCE 2.718 volt. Alright. For the next, this IC is 4.33 milliampere, and for the last one, IE is 4.36 milliampere. So that's done for the part A. So now we move to the part B. So part B is still the same. We connect the schematic diagram of the circuit shown in figure 1 using multi-zip. So, okay, so I'm going to stop this. Okay, so we are still the same. Just we delete for the whole thing. We do it again. Okay. All right. So for the first one, still the same. We go to the source and find VCC. All right, VCC. Okay. So next is 2.7K ohm. We go back to the basic. Go to resistor. So 2.7K. So 2.7K down here. 2.7K ohm. Alright. So that is still the same for the transistor. Still the same. We 2N3904. So next is the basic, which we use to find the 560K ohms. Okay, so we are going to put it here. So, and the last one, don't forget the ground. Okay, for the ground. Okay, so now we are going to connect all the wires. Alright, now we already connect all the wires. So what you want us to find is measure the IB, IC, VB, and VCE. So first identify the type. So the type of bias is the NPN bias transistor. So I'm going to put the probe also. The probe is the VB. It's been shown here, VB. So now is the IB. IB. IB is here. And the IB. So another one is IC. So wait a minute. Okay. So now the VCE. When they're going to connect it here. Another one is here. Right? Okay. So I run it. Okay. So for now, for our IB, our IB is 4.78 mu A. For our IC, the IC is here, which is 619 mu A. For our VB is 652. Okay, wait a minute. I think I made it wrong. So a mistake here. This should be 15 watt. This should be 15 watt. Okay, as we shown here is 15 watt. Sorry for that. Okay, so for IB, oh, it's still the same. 14.4 mu ampere. And for the IC, 2.32 milliampere. And for the second last, which is the VB, is 685 millivolt. And for the last one, for VCE is 8.735 volt. So I think that's all from me. So this is the circuit for part A and part B. I think that's all from me. Okay, for the last one, for the BDC, how do we find the BDC? It is from the IB, because it show it for the calculation, so I will show it in the calculation part. So I think that's all from me. Thank you.